Hello everyone and welcome to another video here on the channel. Today it is day 5 of the AFL trade/free agency period. Really there's only one more free agency trade that may go through, and that's Brody Myercheck, but that may go through as a trade. But more importantly, today's a big day if you're a Saints fan, for good and for bad reason. Liam Ryan has joined the Saints and that's a great move. Lekalia would not be joining St Kilda as of right now, which is confusing. And Max Heath, the Moose, has joined the Demons. That's really all that's happened today. We heard a bit more from Gold Coast and their list boss, Craig Cameron, remaining insistent that Bailey Humphrey will not go anywhere, no matter what they think. And Ivan Soldo wants a trade back to Victoria for the next year in a row. That and so much more to go through. Now, I've had to retake this video. I don't know what the hell's to go with the camera, so apologies. I just thought, let's see if this makes it any better, because the audio's been cutting in and out lately. So let's see if this makes it any better. Hopefully it does. And I don't have to film this twice, so let's see. But please subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Really love you all getting around all my content, but in particular lately the trade rate videos, which I know you love it. So let's get right into the thick of things. Share it around, like the video. I want to have 15 likes for this video. So the first trade that went through today was Liam Ryan is officially a Saints player, along with a 2027 third round selection. The first double future pick trade ever, and West Coast get next year's future second rounder in 2026. So look, West Coast wanted a future second. Saints probably wanted something back with that, and they got a future third, which is around the mark, to be honest. He was contracted, Liam Ryan. He's a premiership player. He's a goal kicker. Really happy to have Flying Ryan to the Saints, and had another dangerous player in the forward line with Jack Higgins and Dan Butler and Mitch Owens and Filippo, Max King, Cooper Sharman. The list goes on and on and on. Really happy to have those guys in the forward line. So, yeah, it'll be really, really good to see how Liam Ryan goes. I love the move. He's not even 30 yet, so people say he's old. That's just ridiculous. You can't go wrong with having experience in your team. So the big moves, Maxi Heath from the Saints, the young ruck who played about 4 games late in the year, has officially joined Melbourne as a backup ruck and St Kilda get a future. So 2027 future 4th rounder. I mean, I think Max Heath is better than a future 4th rounder, to be honest. But there was a potential that he might have been delisted. But, it is what it is. Which Moosey all the best. He's going to be stuck behind Max Gorham like he was behind Marshall this year. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how the big Moose goes. Well done to him. Now, Adelaide ruck Ivan Soldo, who's contracted again for another year, wants to trade back to Victoria. Obviously, St Kilda had interest in the past and that didn't eventuate. Thank God for that. There's a club like Essendon who needs depth in that area. Carlton don't need depth options now. Wouldn't hurt a third, I guess. They've got Reedy and Pitnet, whatever. So I think Essendon would be a perfect fit for Ivan Soldo. With Brian out into the start of the year, no more Goldstein. I think they can do not much better than Ivan Soldo. They lost Sam Draper as well. So he's the type of guy they should be looking at. He's experienced. Hasn't played much AFL lately the last few years, but again, there's not really much better options out there unless you want to go for a guy that hasn't played AFL before. But he is probably finished. But, it is what it is there. Right, so the next piece of information I'm going to talk about is that Gold Coast list manager Craig Cameron confirms that Carlton have approached them about contracted player Ben Ainsworth. Now, that's not entirely unusual for a club to say then other clubs come for their player, but you don't really hear it too much. And then, probably the way Craig Cameron was speaking, they're potentially going to allow it now, and that would mean if Ben Ainsworth, I'll say Braden, he's not playing no more in the AFL. Braden Ainsworth, Ben Ainsworth, not related. If he chooses to go to Carlton, could this reinvigorate the Charlie Curnow to Gold Coast discussion that was probably gone a few days ago? Could be back. If Sydney and Geelong can't orchestrate something for Charlie Curnow, why not? The Suns again. But time will tell. But that all depends on Ben Ainsworth and what he wants to do and whether Gold Coast will let him. Or either let Flanders go to the Saints and everyone like that. But yeah, time will tell. Now, they remain insistent that Bailey Humphrey will be made to stay at the club, but it's clear his relationships have been strained. Gold Coast list boss Craig Cameron says this. He's 21 and impetuous. Don't even know what that means. It's the way of the world at the moment. Players think they can get out in contract and that the grass is greener somewhere else. It's just not going to happen. Very adamant. He's Craig Cameron, so we'll believe him. Now, Bailey Humphrey clearly wants to go. Yeah, so it's really interesting, but see what happens there. Bailey Humphrey has interest from Collingwood and Hawthorn and Melbourne. Apparently, Melbourne's out of it now, so we'll have to wait and see. Christian Petrarca will still join the Gold Coast Suns from Melbourne, so we'll see if the Suns can get Petrarca done. Oliver, no news as of right now, as of this recording, but the Giants are the favourite for him. He's apparently going to meet and speak with Collingwood is Clayton Oliver. Now, I want to leave this Lecalier thing, and Jack Steele and Rowan Marshall. Carl Delina, Saints CEO, Rowan Marshall, out of respect for Rowe, they had conversations with Geelong. That's as far as it's really gone. Geelong need to pay up, and they're not willing to pay up at the moment, so Rowe will likely stay with the Saints as of right now, and I hope that happens. So time will tell, and he mentioned Jack Steele. They're happy for him to look, but they're happy to keep him as well because Jack Steele is determined to stay at the Saints. Josh Galbelich is saying that West Coast, you can rule them out. You can rule Gita Burrisell, well, obviously, because they're getting Clayton Oliver. Essendon and Adelaide are having a look, or had a look. The likelihood is that he was at the Saints. Good. Now, Lecalier. This is not a salary cap reason why St Kilda's pulled out of Lecalier. I think there's something else brewing here. I got this feeling that Sam de Koning is why they're doing it. This ain't a salary cap reason. They're probably thinking there's another defender they've either got or a good chance to get, and they're just going, oh, hold on. We can't bring in Lecalier, they're bringing in this guy. And that's too many key defenders and too much money. Unnecessarily. Right? Just too much. Now, if we don't bring one in and then have done this to a Lecalier, it doesn't look good, I get that. But, for people that want to say, but you've been looking at him like Damien Barrett and some clueless people on the internet have been saying, it's a salary reason. How dare you dog him? What about Melbourne? They dogged Wade Dirksen, who wanted to go there last year. They couldn't get the job done. And then this year he chose them again. Melbourne said yes, and then backtracked and said, no, we don't want you. Now his career's in limbo. So if you want to bring this up for Lecalier, you bring this up for Wade Dirksen in Melbourne. So don't give me that. It doesn't look great, I know that. But clearly maybe Sam de Koning or someone we don't know about has come forward for an offer, and maybe the other club or that player is willing to do the deal. Maybe that's why they've done it, so they don't have 50,000 key defender options all of a sudden. So maybe that's why. I understand why Lecalier would be frustrated, but why random people on the internet are trying to say, it's a salary cap thing. You got no ball knowledge if you think that. You really don't. It's got nothing to do with the salary cap. They're able to bring in these players. They just said they've got cash to splash. So clearly this ain't a salary cap issue. If you think that, you don't know football, and it's time to stop watching football and talking about it. But yeah, hopefully Lecalier can get a contract. GWS, apparently Tom Morris said, I've offered him 3 years. And maybe just think too also, GWS wanted a future second. St Kilda used it for Liam Ryan. They've used future picks in other trades today with Max Heath and Liam Ryan. Maybe they don't want to get out more future seconds. They already lost this year's one, next year's one. Maybe they want to use. Maybe they don't want to lose the year after one as well. Maybe just think like that, and maybe, just maybe, you might realize something. Anyway, that's the trade wrap for day 5. Look forward to tomorrow's video. The Saints got 4 players: Liam Ryan, Sam Flanders, Jack Silvani, and TDK Tom DeConing. Thank you all for watching this episode. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. I would really, really appreciate that. And one thing to quote Liam Ryan: I'm really excited to be joining St Kilda and taking on this next chapter in my career. There's a great energy about this group, and you can feel the hunger to improve and do something great. I want to bring my experience and help spark the forward line, but also keep learning and pushing myself to be the best I can for the team. Well said, Liam Ryan. Thank you. Go Saints.